Hello everybody, it is Dr. DeShavo. I wanted to make you a short little video about the lab material that we've put together for you to finish out the rest of the semester at home. Unfortunately, this is not what we all wanted to do, but luckily we were already somewhat prepared for it. We had a lot of online content and we didn't have a ton more material to get through. So I think we're in pretty good shape and we should be able to make this fairly painless for you. So from now on, you'll have material in both your lecture sections in Blackboard and your lab sections in Blackboard. I know you're all very adept at the lecture, so we won't review that. However, I wanted to pull you into the lab sections. I just loaded all the same material into Dr. Folletti and Dr. Evans' labs, so we're going to review. We're going to run them all the same. There might be small changes, but for the most part, we'll all have the same content. So when you enter your lab section, pretty much same as lecture, I've loaded everything into content, and I've done week by week, and I've really tried to make this user-friendly. I'm also going to send weekly announcements to go with it, and if we need videos, I'll add those as well. So here is week 9. You can see it's all broken down. The dates are on there. And at the top of each of them, I gave you a rundown of what is due that week. So if we look at week 9, we have completed endocrine and digestive in person. So what is in this folder is the video lab answer key. I've gone through and videotaped with the answer key all of the answers for endocrine and digestive. There's 2 for digestive because it's so much bigger. I've added also PowerPoints. These PowerPoints were in your lab review in your lecture section, so they match. They're the same ones. I just brought them over into the lab so it'd be easier for you to follow. So in these PowerPoints, we have a ton of pictures. Okay, these pictures, along with the pictures that we use for the answer key, so in these videos here, they will be the pictures that we use to test you when it comes to the second lab exam and the final. The lab exam will still be 50, well, it might be a few fewer questions than 50, but it'll be, because there's a matching, 2 points per question. You're going to see pictures either from the lab book or from the PowerPoints that we've provided you in this weekly material, and it's going to be multiple choice, so there's no spelling. That should have made you feel a lot better right there. So in addition to weekly review, we are not going to mail out the answer key because we really want you to complete your lab book. We don't want the answer key floating out there, so there's only pictures of it in these videos, and these videos will only come they'll only come up after you've submitted answers from your workbook. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll explain to you in just a minute. Okay, so back to week 9. You're going to have your urinary workbook prep due, just like you've done previously. You need to print that, you download it to your computer, and then you need to submit a copy to your lab instructor. Dr. Evans is going to make a Dropbox for you. Dr. Folletti and I are asking you to take pictures and email it to us, okay, or download it to us. Either way is fine. You will also need to complete as best as you can your actual lab book, the one that you used to bring into lab with you, with the answers as best as you can for urinary system. And once again, you'll mail a picture to your lab instructor or put it into a Dropbox. Like I said, Dr. Folletti and I will take it as an email attachment. Dr. Evans will let her lab section know what she wants them to do. Okay, so after you complete those workbooks, in the following week, actually I think 2 weeks after that, you'll be able to watch the urinary video. Okay, so endocrine and digestive are open because you've already completed that. They're a great review. Watch those. For week 9, you're going to submit the urinary workbook prep, the one that you print off from your lecture section. Oh, and that makes a good point. I copied it into here. This is the same, all these workbooks that you see will be the same ones that you had in lecture. So you don't have to do both. You only have to do this one. This is your lab book. And then we have the review videos, which I told you about. Those are open because we've already completed that work. And then you will have, this is not going to be open until Friday. Okay, we're going to do the Friday to Sunday thing for the quizzes. So now you're going to have quizzes in lab as well as lecture. Okay, so lab digestive quiz, it'll come right from your digestive lab. So make sure you review before you do it. And that'll be due the 29th at midnight. Okay. And then the PowerPoints at the bottom, which I already went over. And those PowerPoints, like I said, come from the lab reviews that were in lecture. I just carried everything over to try to make it a little easier for you guys. Okay, so that is week 9. Week 10 is the lab exam. It will be in this folder in your lab section. Okay, so don't go into lecture, it'll be in lab. And you will need Respond Us. So let's review this really quickly. Okay, I'll probably do it again next week. It'll be open. Now listen, this is important. Friday, April 3rd to April 5th at midnight. You could take it any time within that time frame. However, once opened, you need to complete it. Okay, not timed. Don't leave during the exam though, because it is a forced completion. You can't leave during the exam because we need to be able to watch you. Okay. All questions for the lab exams, both this and the final, will be taken directly from the pictures in your lab review PowerPoints and or pictures in your lab book or ones exactly like them. Okay, very straightforward. You cannot use supplements. You cannot use the internet, your phone, your book, whatever. It is a closed book exam. And if you're caught cheating, you will get a 0. Okay, so the other thing in week 10 is March 31st is the last day to officially withdraw. Okay. So that will be in this folder. You'll click on it. You will not see it yet. I see it because I'm the professor. It will open after April 3rd. You will have to go through Respond Us. Please remember that. Okay. You will have to go through Respond Us. You do not need a separate webcam. You can use the camera in your computer. Okay. Let's look at the rest of the weeks, and like I said, I'll probably do a weekly review. I just wanted to go through it all since it's new. So week 11, review of the urinary system, complete the lab workbook, send it and take the quiz, review the video. So let's look in here. Okay, reproductive workbook will be due the end of this week, April 12th. Also, by April 12th, you will have to fill in your actual lab book and mail a picture to your professor. Okay, here is the lab review for urinary. It will not open until the 29th because that is when your lab book is due to us, so we know that you've completed it. You will have a lab quiz for urinary. Once again, open Friday to Sunday. It'll be due midnight, April 12th. Here are those lab review PowerPoint slides brought over from your lecture once again, and the workbook was brought over from your lecture. I'm just trying to make it easier for everybody to follow. Of course, if you have questions, please email me. Okay, or your lab instructor. April 12th, kind of the same rhythm. Okay, so the due dates are then. Lab book is due April 19th. Okay, reproductive review will not open until everybody has completed their lab book and sent it to us, so that's April 12th. And then here are some lab review pictures for blood and reproductive, the same ones that were in your lecture. Okay, week 13, you have your pregnancy prep due April 26th. Lab reproductive quiz, April 26th at midnight. Once again, Friday to Sunday. Here is the blood and immune system review that will open April 19th because that is when your books are due. Okay, there are no pictures in here because they're from the previous week. Then we move into 14. Week 14 will be your lab final. Once again, it will be multiple choice. Probably fewer than 50 questions, maybe 47 because you might have a matching. It'll be open Friday, May 1st until Sunday, May 3rd. You can take it any time during that time frame. It is closed book. You need to use Respond Us. You can use a camera in your computer. It will cover urinary reproductive system and about 5 to 10 questions on blood and immunity. It will not be cumulative. Okay, so your final will only be on that content. Same thing. All questions will be taken directly from the pictures in your lab review or the pictures that were in the PowerPoints, or pictures that are almost identical. It is closed book. Okay. Your lecture final will be Monday, May 1st. I'll have it open similar times from what you had for the first one. I'll discuss that as we get to it. One more thing while I'm thinking of it. So your lab exam that's week 10 will only be on endocrine and digestive. Okay, so none of these are cumulative. All right. Now, coming back here, this will be your weekly announcement. I think I've covered all the content. Yep. So you could read through that. This video will be in this email. And of course, as always, please let us know if you need anything. We're completely here for you in this crazy time. You know, even if you're just feeling a little stressed and you want to set up an appointment to talk with us, absolutely feel free. We get it. This is just crazy, crazy times, but this too will pass. And before you know it, we'll come out stronger and healthier and happier. Thank you. And I will email you next week, and I'll send another video next week to touch base. Have a great day.